that were doing their thing, whether it be making money online or making money in other places. And again, that's our goal with doing something like this, is to put all of you guys together so that you guys can be in a like-minded community and just show you guys like, hey, you're not alone in this journey. And the fact that every single one of you guys is showing up today and putting in this effort, it's telling me that, hey, like, you guys are on a good track and you guys are ready to fucking rock. And you know, the journey gets lonely, and I'm not here to promise you that it's going to be over tomorrow or it's going to be over in 2 or 3 days or when this 3-day combine is over, but I'm here to tell you that there is light at the end of the tunnel, and let me be that light to you guys, and hopefully we can make that light a lot brighter by kicking this shit off, okay? So with that being said, before I even get into like concepts and stuff, I'll get into this right now and then I'll go pee. But again, when I'm nervous, I need to like pee all the time. So you guys will and this is going to be a long weekend of me spending time with you guys. So there's going to be a lot of honesty from me talking to you guys through the camera. You know, there are definitely going to be pee breaks. There might even be number 2 breaks. We'll see how gnarly things get and we'll see how long these things last for. But my goal is to give you guys every single piece of information necessary, and we're not logging off until I'm done with it. So you guys signed up for this and I signed up for this to be able to give you guys all the information necessary. Let's lock in. So the first thing that I want to talk about is what trading even is, and kind of give you guys an overview of how you guys can make money. I'm sure the vast majority of you guys kind of already know this, but we're going to do a simple breakdown. Okay, let's talk about Apple, the company, for example. Okay, so let's do a basic high school breakdown, economics, class breakdown of how you guys make money day trading. Okay. I say, okay, awesome. I want to buy 1 share of Apple. Boom. I punch it into the brokerage. Okay. Awesome. I get 1 share of Apple at the current price that it was listed at, that I press buy on. Boom. A week goes by and then I want to sell that share of Apple. That price that I bought it at a week prior is going to fluctuate for a week, and it's either going to go up or it's either going to go down. Maybe it goes sideways, maybe it chops around for a little bit, but when I sell it a week later, more often than not, it's going to be a different price than what it was the week prior when I bought it, and I'm either going to sell that share for either a profit or a loss, okay? And what we do as day traders is we do this at scale, okay, with leverage. And we use leverage in 2 different forms, okay, either via options or futures, okay? I personally trade futures, and I think that's what the vast majority of you guys do. If you guys trade options, then there's no problem with that. It's just going to be, it's just like a different form of leverage, okay? I personally trade using futures, and I think that that's what the vast majority of you guys use, but regardless, doesn't matter. But instead of us buying just a singular share of Apple and then having price fluctuate for around a week and then selling for either a profit or loss on a individual share of Apple, because let's go ahead and let's look at what Apple's price is right now. 1 singular share of Apple is worth $268.47 right now. Okay, so with that in mind, Apple's price isn't going to be able to make us $10,000 in a singular day if we're only buying 1 singular share of Apple, right? Because Apple would have to go up $10,000, right? We have to buy way more shares of Apple in order for us to try and make $10,000 on these small price fluctuations, right? Because the Apple's price may only move $5 or may only move $10 over that week span that we buy, hold it, and then sell it for, right? So that's what these brokerages do for us. They help us use leverage to not only help us buy more shares or more contracts of these stocks, these indexes, these commodities, these currencies, but they also leverage our account balance to give us a lot more, again, leverage or account equity or buying power to be able to buy. Instead of 1 share of Apple, we can buy 1,000 shares of Apple. So then instead, if Apple moves up $5 in price, instead of buying 1 share and then selling 1 share, what happens when we're able to buy 1,000 shares and then sell 1,000 shares? Then awesome. Our profit is, instead of being $5, it's now $5,000. And that's what these brokerages help us do, okay? And that's essentially what day trading is. Instead of the most standard, like older way of investing where you just like, hey, I'm buying individual shares of Apple, we're going through brokerages and they're giving us leverage on our initial account balance to give us more buying power so that we're able to make drastic amounts of money on small price fluctuations. Now, let's give a even larger example, and then we'll move on here, of something like the NASDAQ or something like the S&P 500. The NASDAQ is valued at $25,166 per contract right now. So that's saying, okay, I need to even be able to place a trade on the NASDAQ right now, I need to have $25,166 in my account. Not every single one of you guys has that type of money in your account, and that's just to buy 1 share. And let's just look at how much the NASDAQ fluctuated in price today. The NASDAQ moved down around 1.86% today. So that fluctuated around $468 approximately. Okay, so you're putting in, if we're using the standard route, you're putting in $25,000 approximately to only get a gain of $468. That sounds horrible. Maybe that's good over the vast long span of the NASDAQ and we're talking about investing, but when it comes to day to day, and when you guys see me making these big profits on my Instagram stories or on my YouTube videos, okay, I'm not buying individual contracts of the NASDAQ with my hard-earned money. Okay, we are using leverage that these brokerages give us to be able to leverage our money, to be able to give us more buying power so that we can buy more contracts of these indexes, commodities, and stocks, to be able to give us those wider profit and loss fluctuations. Okay. Now that we understand how we're able to use leverage to our advantage, I want to talk about what our goal is with trading, okay? And this is going to be something that you guys hear me repeat all throughout today and all throughout tomorrow and all throughout the third day. The goal of trading, and what is trading? You guys, like, before I even say what it is, I want you guys to answer this question to yourself. What do you think trading is? Okay, I'll give you guys like whatever, 30 seconds for you guys to sit there and
put it in the chat.
What is trading? What is your goal of trading? Okay, what's the goal with trading? Give you guys, a little bit of time to think about this.
We want to understand why we're profitable.
Most people think that this is a trick question. It's not a trick question. Well, it kind of is a trick question because everybody gets it fucking wrong. But yeah, okay, cool. You guys have in your head what your goals are with trading, okay? What is trading? What should be our number one goal with trading? To make money.
Yup.
Wrong. If you guys said your goal of trading is to make money, then you're wrong, and that's probably why you guys are unprofitable right now. Believe it or not, just having that headspace and just having that in your head is probably one of the main deciding factors for why you guys are unprofitable right now.
You think so?
What is the goal of day trading? What is the goal? It isn't to make money, okay?
Put your thoughts in before you answer.
Our goal with day trading is to predict where price wants to go with a high probability, okay? Our goal with trading, write this the fuck down because the way that you guys think about trading changes everything. The goal of trading is to predict where price wants to go with a high probability on a day-to-day basis. It is not to make money, because let's go through the definition that I just gave you of what trading is. If it is our goal to predict where price wants to go on a day-to-day basis with high probability, what is the awesome side effect that gives us.
That's a good point.
It gives us money, okay? Because if we're able to predict where price action wants to go on either the NASDAQ or the S&P 500 or on gold or on Apple stock, okay? If we're able to predict where price wants to go with a high probability every single day, then that is going to help us make money. But your goal of trading is not to make money. And we're going to talk about later on today and tomorrow why that leads you guys to make horrible mistakes in trading, and why that's probably one of the leading reasons for why you guys are unprofitable